Well, good morning, you beautiful people. It has been a little bit since my last upload, and that's because life happens. For about 2 weeks, I had, I don't know, just the absolute worst cold. Call it a cold, call it a flu, whatever it was. I had zero energy, coughing. I'm still kind of just getting over the cough. Sometimes I'll still get a little bit of that hiccup in my throat and it'll hit me again. But I'm finally feeling like I'm ready to get back out and be a productive member of society, or at least attempt to be anyway. So, but yeah, it's been a slow couple of weeks, and I hate it when that happens. I don't like feeling unproductive. I don't like feeling like I haven't made any progress in anything. I didn't even not going to the gym or whatever. I slept for hours a day, and God, there's nothing to be done. When you get sick, and you just have to get better. And it's not like it's something that you can blame yourself for. But when I was younger, I probably would have tried to say, "Oh yeah, no, I gotta push through it and gym at any cost, and don't let that slow you down." But you know what? It's better just to try to take the time and heal and get better than try to force yourself through it. Plus the fact that if you're sick, you don't want to get others sick. So I try to be a little bit more gracious in my wiser years. Don't need to be infecting everybody else that goes to the gym. So anyway, Memorial Day was yesterday. Didn't really do anything too special over the weekend. Pretty much just spent it with the kids, hung out, relaxed, had a little bit of a barbecue, and just kind of chill. It was extremely wet, so that kind of put a damper on things too. We actually thought that the parade was going to be canceled yesterday. A lot of the surrounding towns ended up canceling their parades, and we were like, well, it's kind of 50-50. It was downpouring, not like a sprinkle. It was like downpour, soaking wet in 30 seconds as soon as you stepped outside. And the sad thing was that pretty much as soon as the parade was over, it stopped raining. It was gorgeous outside, and it was like, oh well, that's kind of a bummer. But yeah, they ended up changing the parade from a walking parade to a motorcade, which threw everything into a tailspin because nobody had planned for it. So my kids were in the scout program. They were supposed to be walking, and then they put the flag down as part of a memorial ceremony at the local cemetery. But we got the message about 30 minutes before they were supposed to start congregating for prepping for the walking in the parade that we're going to need people to volunteer to drive through the parade instead. That's what we're going to do instead of walking. Okay, well, we don't have any banners, we don't have anything prepped up for the cars, but sure, all right. So anyhow, it ended up being an okay parade. Kind of short, short and sweet. Nothing wrong with that, though. Oh, yeah, something that I've been trying over the last couple of weeks while I've been, trying to get back up on my feet. I see a lot of viral videos on a dense bean salad, and once I start doing some more research into fiber intake, that's actually an interesting topic where I know for a fact that I don't get enough fiber in my diet. I eat, serving of fruits and vegetables every single day, whether it's broccoli or watermelon or a banana, get my fruits and veggies. I eat celery, carrots. I try to stick to the leafy stuff. I haven't had, I gotta put spinach back in my diet. But anyway, long story short, it's interesting once you start looking into how fiber content can really affect your metabolism. And I've always known that it was important in terms of feeling full. So high fiber foods making you feel more satiated for longer. But when it comes to actually fiber, for lack of a better word, fiber maxing, and making sure that you really get not just trace amounts of fiber, but the real amount that you should be getting. So for me, it's something like 35, 40 grams of fiber a day. So I started eating Fiber One cereal. Not the tastiest, but what I've actually found is that if I mix in about a quarter cup of my favorite granola, which is a dried fruit berry granola, mix that in with the Fiber One, it actually makes a big difference, and I'm still getting fiber and I'm still getting the protein, and actually tastes a lot better that way. So life hack for you. Oh, I mean, I eat yogurt. I still stick to my Greek yogurt, at least one Greek yogurt cup a day. I still get my oatmeal. So I'm trying to stick to the diet. Even when I wasn't feeling better. I don't feel like I've seen a lot of difference in my weight the last couple of months. I've made a big statement about how I don't count my calories, and so I know it's not conducive for me to not count my calories. Like I'm only shooting myself in the foot by not doing that. But I struggle with trying to keep track of that, because not that I obsess over the numbers, but it just becomes such a pain to try to say, okay, well, was this 100 calories or this 110 calories? Is this a large egg or is this a small egg? What is this based on? And obviously the most accurate way to go about it is through weight, but this is a different brand than the brand that the MyFitnessPal app has in it. So is it technically the same? And when I scan the barcode, it doesn't show up. So, do I use the generic version of the calories, or do I use the brand name, even though they're not identical? So that's where I get hung up on trying to count those details. And it's like, it's really not helpful for me, like I want to lose weight, but I don't need to lose weight. That doesn't even sound right. It's like my goals for myself is I want to look better. So I don't care about the number on the scale. I want to be able to look better. Like one thing I struggle with is that I feel like my face is very puffy. I feel like, my upper body I feel very inflamed a lot. And so I've thought about trying to do an elimination diet, a version of a keto diet or a carnivore, where just try to cut certain things out and just see how my body responds to that. I struggle to maintain those diets just because I like to eat. So I don't like to hold myself back from trying, foods that I know taste good. And, like I'm not conscious about, I'm not trying to become a bodybuilder. Like that's not what my goal is anymore. I want to just be healthy. I want to be strong. I don't want to look like a total marshmallow when I take my shirt off. And right now that's what I feel like. And part of it is dysmorphia, just from you will never be as big as you want to be the second that you start working out. Like it's such a catch-22. Like we go to the gym to work out and be healthy, but the second you start going, it's like, unless you have a very specific goal and you're making very conscious strides towards that every single day, it's easy to lose sight of what that goal was. Like my goal right now, if I could drop 20 pounds worth of fat, like that's what I would like to do. Like I know my face would look slimmer. I would feel better. Like I don't feel like I'm out of shape, but it's just, I feel like my body, like I would feel better in my body if I was able to drop those pounds. And, I tend to drop weight quickly when I really buckle down and do it. But it's just between job hunting the last couple of months and launching my own business and end of the school year stuff and kids and just everything else. Like it's tough to do that. It's tough to hold on to that. And yeah, discipline, routine, all that kind of stuff, but life happens too, and I want to be able to enjoy things. So, and yes, it's, more important to enjoy the body that you're in and not beat yourself up because you don't have the body that you want yet. But it's also, it's being realistic too. I'm a busy dad of 3 kids. My girlfriend, she's got her own thing going on. She lives out in California, so it's I don't have to try to plan meals around all of our collective tribe. but it's still like, I don't know. I need to find a better way to be more systematic in my meal prepping approach. And even if I'm not calorie counting exactly, I always try to maintain a main protein. I try to estimate about the size of your fist. Um, a protein, a vegetable, and a carb with dinner every night, and I prioritize the protein for every single meal. Whether that's extra meat on a sandwich or making sure I have a yogurt cup. I substitute most of the sugary drinks for water. I don't drink soda, and plus it's just too expensive anyway. I am a sucker for a good energy drink, as seen by some of my reviews of the Bucked Up Energy, which been hit or miss for those, to be honest. I want to like them, I support companies that are at least attempting to get better protein into people, but some of the flavors just weren't doing it for me. So I don't know. We'll see. I want to try some of their other flavors too, because there's a few that I tried the rainbow Bucked Up protein rainbow, was it rainbow candy or something like that? Just didn't do it for me. It's like carbonated protein, but it's like carbonated milk. I couldn't get used to it. But then again, maybe it's just an acquired taste, and I only tried the one can, so maybe I need to give it another go. But anyway, that's just me rambling on now. So I'm just about to pull into the gym. Yeah, my goal is to start getting more consistent with my workouts again. It's a Tuesday. I'm going to do the push day that I put off from yesterday. Get back into the swing of it. I need to start doing a spin bike routine in the afternoon. I want to be adding that, just 30 minutes of light spin at home, just to try to keep my activity up. I've got stuff going on in the business life that I'm excited about. So I'm launching stuff here in the beginning of summer that I'm going to own the remainder of 2026. And that's like my goal. And yeah, that sounds very generic and sounds very esoteric of just like, oh, I'm owning 2026. No, I have some goals for 2026 that I am going to be meeting in the next few months. I have a digital product that I'm just about done that I'm very proud of. I put a lot of work into it over the last few years. It's not something that's just gonna, be a 30-minute PDF that people can generate out of ChatGPT. It's something that I put a lot of work into that has a lot of value. So I'm going to be launching that on my business channel. But I want to set myself up for success with that. So, and it's a little bit of analysis paralysis and the perfectionist in me, getting a little bit too anal about what is the content, maybe. But I also want to make sure that if I'm going to be charging a premium price for it, that people are getting the value out of it. So I'm tired of the lazy hustle culture of throw something out there and some sucker will buy it. No, that's not how I do things. So I hold myself to a higher standard. I hold other people in the industry to a higher standard. And so, I judge a lot of the creators that I see based on what it is that they're selling. And there's a lot of crap out there. So I want to do something better. I want to be different. Anyhow. All right, just about to pull in the gym. So, all right guys, I'll catch you in the next one. All right. Peace.